everybody, it's Bob and Bob Jr. here. If you guys have been following our channel, you'll know that Bob Jr. posted a deal about doing a Q&A, question and answer session with me. And so he's got the questions, and I'm going to try to answer them. We'll see how it goes. In the meantime, I'm going to go hang out in the maps, just kind of wander around the maps while he follows me and asks questions. And we'll see how it goes. All right. When you're ready, Bob Jr.
The first question, are you bald?
Am I bald? In the game, yes. In real life, no. And I don't expect to ever go bald. My family has a long line of lot of hair. So the answer is no. I am not bald and don't expect to go bald in my lifetime. Unless I shave it, and that's a whole other story. I'd have to lose a bet, I think. So, next question. Good one, by the way.
How did you find Gorilla Tag?
Well, that's a good one. I actually had to ask Bob Jr. about that, ask you about that one. So my brother, who is a couple years older than me, when he heard that I had gotten the Oculus and that Bob Jr. had an Oculus, he is the one who suggested it to, I think, Bob Jr. Bob Jr. shared it with me. We went out and found it, and so we started, January, February of 2022. But yeah, my brother told me about it. So.
How long have you been playing Gorilla Tag?
Well, I guess I just answered that one. I started, January, February of 2022. So it's October, so it's been, 9 months?
With the question mark about fan lobbies.
All right, fan lobbies. All right, so I do host some fan lobbies. Really, it's just I announce on my community tab that I'm going to be in the code Baub, typically, sometimes a different variation, and tell people when to expect me and when we're gonna do it. Often on the weekends when I have time, and yeah. So if you watch my community tab, Bob Jr. and I often will post stuff in there. And when we plan on doing fan lobbies, that's where we'll post it. We'll tell you the time. We do everything in Central Daylight Time based on where we live. So you'll have to convert that to your time when you see it. And if you have questions on how to do that, talk to your parents or Google it. But then if you come early, you'll be able to join us in the lobby. Typically, there's only room for 8 to 9 people, depending on if Bob Jr. and I are both there or not. So, yeah. I've had a lot of fun times. I think Alpha Cupcakes joined us once or twice, and a lot of other great gorillas. So, yeah, I get to know people that way. It's pretty cool. How am I so good? So, again, I don't believe that I am terribly good. I am decent. I am a brancher, and I just practice. I get in, and the best thing I can do if you want to be a good brancher is advise you just get in the trees and just don't stop moving. There's no reason to stand still once you're in the game. I just keep jumping around and learning the branching, learning the trees, knowing where they are. That way, no matter what situation I find myself in, I know where the next branch is. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, practice. And every once in a while, somebody will show me something kind of cool, and I like that as well. So, all right, next question, Bob Jr.
What is your opinion on BBVR's shiny rocks?
Oh, I think that's awesome. You know, BBVR has, I think, 108,000 shiny rocks, which is absolutely awesome. That equates to roughly $420, something like that, I think, is what or $440 is what he would have had to spend to have all those rocks if he doesn't add, and that doesn't include everything that he's purchased in the game with his shiny rocks. So, kudos to BBVR. Mad respect. Definitely has a lot of shiny rocks. I know there's actually somebody else out there, and I apologize for not remembering off the top of my head, that has more shiny rocks that have just been saved up than I do. They have 35,000, I think. Never spent a single shiny rock, if I'm not mistaken, as well. And so my hat goes off to them for having more earned shiny rocks as opposed to purchase shiny rocks. Either way, I'm not trying to flex on anybody. It's not a big deal. I just don't use my shiny rocks. I'm a saver, not a spender. And it doesn't benefit my game at all to look different in the game. So that's why I don't spend my shiny rocks. All right. Next question.
It depends, but will we ever get a face reveal from Baub?
I mean, in fact, Bob Jr., I think you're wishing I had never done a face reveal with you. um, Thanks, appreciate that. No, so my intention was really never to connect my virtual reality world with my real life. I have a pretty cool life. I like it, and I'm not in any position to necessarily combine the two, which means I don't plan on doing a face reveal. I cannot tell the future, and so because I don't know what the future holds, I can't promise one way or the other. At this time, I do not plan any face reveals. Not that I'm big enough to make a for it to make a difference. I just choose to. Oh, dang! If you guys just heard that, that was me breaking my controller again. Hold on. Ooh. Dang, that was good. So what I just did was hit the top of the counter. That was pretty nice. So I should really be a little more cautious where I'm at. Anyway, next question, Bob Jr.
How many subs do you want in the future of this channel?
How about 1,000? I know that sounds silly. I actually never expected to get. I figured it'd take at least a year for me to get anywhere close to 1,000 subscribers. Just for the simple reason that I wasn't expecting, a lot of attention. I might be answering another question, but Bob Jr. and I really just started the channel because we don't add people to our Oculus, and it just gives it was to give people a chance to, follow us and support the idea of creating a positive lobby, not necessarily to gain subscribers or, get monetized or anything like that. It was just an opportunity for us to extend ourselves out there to people who continued to ask about it. But I don't know. I have no idea where the future of the channel goes. I'm not expecting anything, not anticipating anything. I'm just kind of going with the flow. If things go well and people continue to respond positively, I'll continue to post and build the channel. And if not, well, I'll just continue to play the game and kick back and enjoy life. How's that sound? I don't need the channel. I don't need the money, and I just do it for fun. So, all right. I think that answered the question, Bob Jr. Let's move on.
How many cosmetics do you own?
That's a good question. Let's go to the cosmetics counter. To be clear, I have not purchased any cosmetics. I have only grabbed some of the free stuff as it comes out as free stuff. So let's go. We'll go to the mirror or go to the deal and see if I can figure it out. So, all right. So I think all the free stuff is going to be in this one, or everything I own is in here, if I'm not mistaken. So we will go with hats, and as you will see, I hit hats, and there are no hats. Face, oh look, I got the sunburn, I got the egg, got a little piece of grass to chew on when I'm bored. And badges, I got the 1-year badge for Gorilla Tag, was here for a year. That was the only badge I have. And then holdables, I've got the little finger puppets. So yeah, that's the extent of my collection, folks. Not very extensive, but it's fun. Hey, look, Bob Jr.'s got the finger hats too. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put those on for the remainder of the day. That'll be fun. I always love those little party hats. So, all right. What's the next question, Bob Jr.?
List your favorite maps from least to greatest.
From least, so my least favorite map. So let's talk about the different maps. So there is city. There's also, if you want to count it, there's technically the competition course, which is kind of a map. So we got competition. We have mountains. We have canyons. We have crystals, and we have forest. So I'd say least favorite. Oh man, I'm gonna go with canyons right now. Not because I don't like it, but I'm just gonna say canyons because I guess canyons is hard to be social because you can disappear and it's hard. It's a big map, and I've spent a lot of time there. I'm not the best on walls, so I guess that would be why. Next, I would say crystals. Well, actually, no. I'm gonna go with. Go ahead. What you got?
That's surprising because for a while when you first started, all you played was canyons.
It was because I was no good at any of the other stuff like branching, and so I would say that I'm gonna actually let's go in to let's move away from the city for a minute. I'm gonna head this way. Bob Jr., follow me up if you would. We're gonna go on down. So again, canyons probably my least favorite. It's just fairly one-dimensional in the way of things you can do there. I would say the next least favorite would have to be crystals. However, today I did play with a friend of mine, Scudus for you, and we came down here to crystals and caves. And I'll be honest, with all my branching experience now, crystals is I do pretty well down here. So I was holding my own with the guys. I felt pretty cool about that. But again, not one of my favorites. I do enjoy it. It gives it a little different aspect. And I like it because when people are trying to sneak up on you, you get a little announcement with the crystal chimes. So that's fun. The next one I would say is mountains. Or actually, no, city. City is, I like the hiding spots and the different things with city. The competition course would come after that just because I love it's not very, there's not a lot you can do in a competition course, but it is kind of cool to be able to go in there, and I enjoy hanging out in there once in a while and just seeing how fast I can do different things and go backwards and forwards and do that. Did I already say? So that leaves what, mountains and, did I already say mountains? No, that leaves mountains and forest. I think mountains is my second least favorite, and of course, my favorite of all time is the forest because that is where I spend most of my time branching. I love just hanging out and branching in the forest. It is such a relaxing, therapeutic place for me to be. So anyway, so back to reiterate, we have canyons, caves, city, competition, mountains, then my favorite is forest. So next question, please, Bob Jr.
You usually play Gorilla Tag.
Well, Central Standard Time or Central Daylight Time currently. I typically do it in the evenings when, everything is kind of settled down in the house. Often sometime between 10 and midnight, my time. But it just depends. Sometimes I get on during the day, during my lunch break, when I decide to just relax for a little bit. Weekends, just depends on what I'm up to. So, but I would say typically in the evenings, sometimes between 4 and 5 in the afternoon. But yeah, those are a few times. But it's always just kind of depends on what's going on. So, next question, Bob Jr.
How tall are you?
All right, Bob Jr., you want to answer that one?
Sure.
How tall am I?
He is not 6 foot tall.
I never quite made it to 6 foot. I am 5'11" and 3/4. I'm a 1/4 inch off